What's up, it's Dr. Allin here at Evolve Chiropractic in Woodstock. Today we're going to go over our second exercise with the McGill protocol. This is called a side bridge. Commonly I see people doing these at the gym, but I always see them being done improperly. So I'm going to walk you through the proper way to do a side bridge, how to use it to stabilize your low back and prevent any kind of injuries through the process. So ideally the way you want to start this is you're going to lay on your hip and your elbow. Now as far as placement, you want your elbow to be directly under your shoulder. You don't want to be leaning over or far back. You want to be directly on top. And you want to kind of pull your elbow into your side to get your lat to contract in through here. Now, as far as my hips are concerned, I want to have about a 45-degree angle at my hip. So from here, I'm going to bend about halfway to being all the way up at 90, about a 45-degree angle, and then about a 90-degree bend at my knee. Now from this position, I'm going to make sure that my head's not jutting forward. I want that nice neutral chin position. I'm going to pull down into the ground. My elbow's pulling down towards my hip, so I feel this start to tighten up in my lats. I'm going to draw my belly button in towards my spine, and I can rest my hand just on my side. I could rest my hand on my hip. Doesn't really matter, just as long as it's not rotating you in one way or the other, just keeping you nice and neutral. So from this, I'm going to keep my chin nice and neutral. Pull the belly in, squeeze through the bottom, and I'm going to drive my hips up and forward as I come into the side bridge position. So again, I'm pulling the ground with my elbow in towards my hip as I press up and forward. Now from here, we're going to hold, ideally about 10 seconds. When you first start, it might only be 3 seconds. And then from this position, as we're done holding, we're going to drop the hips down and back. Now when I see people doing this incorrectly, what I see is this kind of side bend movement this way. That's not what we want to see. What we're doing is we're training the body how to hinge at the hips to go into flexion and extension. So if you haven't seen the hip hinging exercise, this kind of goes alongside that, the one where we use our stick and lean back into a hip hinge. So go check out that video if you haven't seen that one yet. So let's do that one more time. And again, we're going to keep nice and tight. Now, if this does bother your shoulder, there is a trick where you can kind of pull the shoulder muscle down to stabilize the shoulder joint as you come up. Sometimes it can be a little discomfort in the shoulder, so if that does bother you, try that trick to stabilize the shoulder. If it still gives you problems, I would say just not do that for right now. Let's go to the other side. We always want to try to do both when we're doing these side bridges. So again, about a 45-degree hip flexion, about a 90-degree knee bend, and again the elbow is going to be directly underneath my shoulder. So from here I'm going to again drive my hips up and forward, and then I'm going to hold that position. Make sure your chin's not sticking out. Just try to get a little bit of correction. Squeeze the shoulder blades down and back. Pull that elbow towards your hip to get the lats to engage. And then as we come out of this, we're going to slowly sit down and back. We're really using our glute muscles to drive that movement forward and then down and back. So you're squeezing nice and tight through the glutes to get those muscles firing. And again, the more you do this, the more your body's going to start to stabilize in the low back. You're going to wake up all these core muscles and really start to get some good stabilization patterns going on. Let's try this one at home. Let me know if you have any questions. Ideally, you want to work your way up to about 3 sets, 10-second holds, and yeah, have fun with it. Let me know if you need anything else. We'll see you soon.